Dear students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. Today we are going to look into the topic on operating systems. The structure of the module been broadly divided into 8 sections: introduction, generations of operating systems, features of operating systems, basic components of operating systems, types of operating systems, features of operating systems, summary, and then references. Operating system acts as an interface between a user and computer. It controls all computer resources and provides an environment in which a user can execute programs. Operating systems evolved over last 50 years from the earlier resident monitored program to today's distributed operating environment. The history of operating systems is closely associated with the history of computer architecture, one influencing the other. Initially, there was only computer hardware which was physically large with limited memory and very slow operation. The computer system was operated by same person who used to write the program, which was written absolutely in binary first on paper. It used to be time consuming and cumbersome operation as programmers used spending more than performing the normal operation of entering the program into the computer in addition to writing the program. The next remarkable development at this point was the introduction of punch card and high-speed punch card readers. As the time passed on, additional hardware, software were developed and new media was also introduced like card readers, paper tape readers, magnetic tapes, etc. System programs were developed to run the devices. Higher level languages were developed and assemblers, compilers, loaders, linkers, etc. became common. High level languages and language systems need the programming tasks much easier. Later, to speed up the process, similar programs were grouped together and were then executed as a batch by the operator. Now, looking into generations of operating systems. The generations of operating systems are based on the developments and it is not possible to set any time frames. 0th generation, there was no operating system. The programmer operator hand coded the bare machine. The advantage with this system was its hands-on interactive nature. First generation computer operating systems were characterized by machine and assembly language and stored program concept. This period also seen the introduction of different types of input and output devices. Higher level languages and language systems were developed. First generation operating systems made the programming job very simple. However, system utilization was not very efficient. Second generation started with automatic job sequencing and batch processing. Offline batch processing and spooling system were introduced. FMS, that is Fortran monitoring system, and IBM's tape-based operating system for 7090, 7094 computers are examples of typical second generation operating systems. Third generation operating system, they are multi-programming, time sharing and real-time processing systems. Most of the third generation systems were multi-mode systems. Some of them simultaneously supported batch processing, multi-programming, time sharing and real-time processing. Examples are IBM 360, IBM MVS, IBM MVT, etc. Fourth generation. operating systems for personal computers and database systems gained importance. This facilitated non-technical computer users to develop applications without the support of programmers. Another feature is pre-written application software packages that can be used by the end user directly. Network operating system and distributed operating system took the computing power to users' doors. The operating systems which are currently being in use fall into this generation. Features of operating system. The modern day operating systems are based on the following mechanisms. Number 1, multitasking. The ability of an operating system to handle the execution of multiple tasks at a time is known as multitasking. When a task is waiting for the completion of activity, the processor meanwhile starts executing the next task. While one task is waiting for input from the user, another program could be reading from the hard disk. The other one is multi-programming. An operating system allows many programs to be executed simultaneously by different users is known as multi-programming feature. Text editor, game application, and a calculator on a computer can be run at the same time where the operating system executes all the programs simultaneously. In other words, the ability to perform 3 tasks is multi-programming, and the ability to divide time among 3 tasks is multitasking. Basic components of an operating system. Apart from providing a user interface, operating system has 4 major components. They are memory manager, process manager, device manager, file manager. Memory management is the mechanism by which an operating system handles requests for memory. The operating systems allocate memory for various tasks that a user performs. In situations where multiple operations are being performed simultaneously, the operating system manages the system memory in a manner that no clashes occur. After a task is completed, the operating system cleans up the memory by releasing the memory space for other programs or tasks. A multi-operating system also has an additional function of managing the memory space of each user in such a way that the operations of one user do not interfere with those of another user. Process manager, a program submitted to computer for execution, is called a process. To enable several processes to run concurrently, an operating system has to ration out the microprocessor time. The process manager needs to ensure that all the programs get a fair share of the time and no program monopolizes microprocessor time. Next one is device manager. An operating system needs to manage devices, that is peripherals, attached to the computer. The device manager handles communication between the devices and the microprocessor. For example, it handles communication between the microprocessor and the scanner. File manager. Computer can store information on various media such as CD, DVD, ROM and hard disk. A file manager provides a logical view of information storage. It allows a user to manage information in the form of files. These components work closely to help the operating system to function properly. For example, while saving a file in a computer, the file manager creates new file and device manager allocates a physical location for the file. The memory manager ensures that space is available in the memory while the content of the file is being stored. Now let us see types of operating systems. They can be classified into different types based on their interfaces and user friendliness as like this. Character user interface based operating system, graphical user interface, that is GUI based operating system, single user, multi-user, single tasking, multitasking, interactive, time sharing, real time sharing, network operating systems. Character user interface based operating system. This type of operating system requires a user to type the instruction for the computer in a specific format. Then the operating system interprets the commands and generates the corresponding computer instructions. Hence, the users need to remember the commands to interact with the computer. This type of operating system is also known as command line interface, that is CLI, and it displays data character by character and it only textual in nature. MS-DOS is a single user and a single tasking operating system, while Unix is multi-user operating system, and these two are examples for CUI based operating systems. Graphic user interface operating system. GUI based operating system uses graphics to make the program easy to use. The GUI has menus, pointers and icons on the screen. An icon is a picture which represents applications and a pointer is a symbol which is displayed on the monitor. A mouse is used to move the pointer to an icon, and one of the mouse buttons is pressed to activate the application associated with that icon. A GUI based operating system is slower and takes more hard disk space. MS Windows and Linux are examples for multi-user and multitasking operating systems. Interactive systems. Interactive systems provide online communication between the user and the system. User gives instructions to the program or the operating system and receives an immediate reply. A keyboard is used as user's input device, and a cathode ray tube display is used to get the output. When the operating system finishes a command, it seeks the next command not from the control card but from user's keyboard. Example for this system is Windows NT. Time sharing systems. This system combines the features of interactive and multi-programming systems. It allows many users to share the system simultaneously. Since each action or command tends to be short, only a little CPU time is needed for each command to generate a response. The Multics and Unix operating system are examples for this kind of time sharing systems. Real-time systems. Operating systems respond in real time are known as real-time systems. It can be used as a control device in dedicated applications. Real-time operating systems have very tight time constraints. A real-time operating system must guarantee this time requirement. Process control systems, telecommunication systems, interactive graphics, etc. are some examples of applications requiring the services of real-time operating systems. Network operating systems. With the development of computer networks, network operating systems and distributed operating systems came into existence. A computer network consists of a collection of interconnected autonomous computers. Individual computer in the network runs its own local operating systems and has its own local users. In network operating system, the users are aware of the existence of other computers, can log in to a remote computer and can work on that computer. Examples are again Microsoft Windows Server 2003, Microsoft Windows Server 2008 and Linux. Now let us look into the features of popular operating systems. MS-DOS is a non-graphical command line operating system derived from 86-DOS that was created for IBM compatible computers. It is originally written by Tim Patterson and introduced by Microsoft in August 1981 and was last updated in 1994 when MS-DOS 6.22 was released. It allows the users to navigate, open and otherwise manipulate files on their computer from a command line instead of a GUI like Windows. Today, MS-DOS is no longer used. However, the command shell, more commonly known as Windows command line, is still used by many users. Windows 7, it is a personal computer operating system developed by Microsoft. It is a part of Windows new technology, that is NT family of operating systems. Windows 7 was released to manufacturing on July 22nd, 2009 and became generally available on October 22nd, 2009. Features of Windows 7 are Start menu, taskbar and notification area, Windows snipping tool, Windows Explorer favorites, Windows Explorer libraries, etc. Linux. It is the most popular open source software. In 1991, a student in Finland, Linus Torvalds, released a rudimentary Unix-like kernel using GNU compilers and tools and invited contributors worldwide. Releasing updates once a week allowed this so-called Linux operating system to grow rapidly, enhanced by several thousand programmers. The resulting GNU Linux operating system has spawned hundreds of unique distributions or custom builds of the system. Major distributions include Red Hat, SUSE, Fedora, Debian, Slackware, and Ubuntu. Linux operating system has primarily three components: kernel, system library, system utility. Kernel is the core part of Linux. It is responsible for all major activities of this operating system. It consists of various modules and it interacts directly with the underlying hardware. Kernel provides the required abstraction to hide low-level hardware details to system or application programs. System libraries are special functions or programs using which application program or system utilities accesses kernel's features. These libraries implement most of the functionalities of the operating system and do not require kernel modules code access rights. System utility. System utility programs are responsible to do specialized individual level tasks. Let us see basic features of Linux. Some of the important features are portable. Portability means software can work on different types of hardware in same way. Linux kernel and application programs support their installation on any kind of hardware platform. Open source. Linux source code is freely available and is community-based development project. Multiple teams work in collaboration to enhance the capability of Linux operating system and it is continuously evolving. Multi-user. Linux is a multi-user system, which means multiple users can access system resources like memory, RAM, application programs at same time. Multi-programming. Linux is a multi-programming system, which means multiple applications can run at same time. Hierarchical file system. Linux provides a standard file structure in which system files, user files are arranged. Shell. Linux provides a special interpreter program which can be used to execute commands of the operating system. It can be used to do various types of operations, call application programs, etc. Security. Linux provides user security using authentication features like password protection, controlled access files, encryption of data. Now, looking into the summary of this module, an operating system is a type of system software. An operating system consists of four components: memory manager, process manager, device manager, and file manager. Different types of operating systems are CUI based and GUI based, single user and multiple user. The features of an operating system are multitasking and multiprogramming. Multitasking is the ability to handle the execution of multiple tasks at a time. Multiprogramming refers to the ability to enable different users to execute programs simultaneously. MS-DOS is an acronym for Microsoft Disk Operating System. The main features are: it is a character-used interface operating system, it is a command line operating system, and supports single user and single tasking. Microsoft's Windows family consists of various graphical user interface based operating systems. The most popular are Windows 95, Windows 98, Windows New Technology, and Windows 2000, etc. The primary features of Windows 7 are Start menu, taskbar, and notification area, snipping tool, Windows Explorer favorites and Windows Explorer libraries. Linux is a freely distributed operating system that follows the open development model. Some main features are it is GUI based operating system. It supports multi-programming, time sharing and multitasking. It is also multi-user operating system. The Linux system is based on GNU tools. GNUs, not Unix. That is a set of standard ways to handle and use the system. The advantage is all GNU tools are open source, so they can be installed on any system. The Linux kernel uses the same license as GNU software.